Good morning. Welcome back to my philosophy-based YouTube channel. Just wanted to shoot really quick today because I need to get back to the task at hand. The history of the United States of Latin America is my life's work. That and the Pan-American Adaptive Expansive Project, which consists of the 5-volume book series, The History of the United States of Latin America. There will also be a prequel film series that I want to make 10 seasons. Also titled The History of the United States of Latin America, or perhaps another title, it really doesn't matter. But the history of the United States of Latin America is written from the perspective of a history book written in the year 2167. For this book series, I will use a pen name. That pen name will be Gustavo Calderon, as I, George Gilbert, will not be alive during the year of 2167. It is written as a 5-volume book series that looks at this timeline that we're currently experiencing as recorded history. I take historical events as they unfold, right? And I reference them as a series of scaffolding narratives that document the civilizational collapse and decline of the modern West through the United States of America, right? The country that I love with all my heart. The United States of America, and along with the Western world, has clearly reached its limits as a civilizational model, and we can no longer move forward in the West. And this is what I write about in this book series. How the United States of America continues to just fracture and really, in its attempts to lead the world through imperialism, just continues to make one bad foreign policy decision after another, which is basically what USA foreign policy is. It's let's go solve this one problem while creating 2 more problems that we're gonna have to come back and fight in 10 years, which is okay for the USA because the USA is run by a military industrial complex that feeds off of constant conflicts and forever wars, right? So back to the history of the United States of Latin America. The history of the United States of Latin America, I, at the age of 47, literally spent over half of my life working on this idea before I wrote the first page. If you're a fan of this channel, thank you. And please like and subscribe. But then you know that the first character that I created was Armando Cienfuegos. And this is something that originally I didn't want to disclose to the public, but I've got like 36 subscribers. And for you who are watching this, I know that that you're getting something out of it, and you actually like probably know who I am. So therefore, you know, I wanted to kind of give like a little gift to those people who were watching my channel from the early days. Armando Cienfuegos was a character that I created when I was about 23 or so. As I quit politics after Iraq, I suffered 2 manic episodes in which I woke up in a hospital psych ward. The first time after spending my first brutal night in jail, although I suspect that it wasn't as brutal as I thought it was, because I was going through a manic episode. I was hearing voices. I was seeing images in my brain. I wanted to unalive all of the officers in the jailhouse that night, and I was not well. I was not well. It was an extremely traumatic, violent experience to be repeated about 18 months after that. Although it wasn't nearly as violent the second time, it was still very traumatic. So, you know, I was in this mental state of just instability, hearing voices. I began experimenting with hardcore drugs, and I completely tuned the world out. In doing so, I came up with the idea of this character who would unify Latin America through conquering the drug trade, and from there, build a new civilization, a new world. I didn't have the adaptive expansive philosophy created then. I created the adaptive expansive philosophy on August 10th, 2024. And I'm looking at the spot from here where I created it at. I will never forget that moment as long as I live. So I created Armando right around the time when I started experimenting with the most hardcore, deadly drugs in the world. And Armando was my crutch. You know, every arrest, every drunken escapade that just ended in fiasco, every hurt, And thankfully, I never hurt anybody else when I was in my drunken escapades behind the wheel. But every hurt that I felt was incorporated into Armando Cienfuegos' life. Getting over crack, getting over all these drugs, he would be fighting cartels in Latin America. And if I died, he would die, you know. But if I survived and I pulled through, so would he. He would win the war on drugs, and we would unify the nations of Latin America and create a better civilization model for humanity. So this idea, it evolved throughout the years. It evolved throughout the years, and right now I'm at 62 pages, and I need to get back to the task at hand because I haven't opened up my laptop in 3 days. Social media is fun. I'm not gonna lie. Even though I only have 36 subscribers, it does not matter. I have affirmations that at least one, and I suspect it's more than one. I suspect that it's several people who actually do watch my videos and gain something out of it. And if what I do helps one person, then I'm gonna keep doing it. I don't care about the monetization, not yet. I mean, of course, I do now. I wish to produce progeny now. I wish to produce a legacy that's gonna remain after I live. So now I do wanna make money, but I'm not motivated by money. I don't care about money. I don't love money. So this is just one video talking about the history of the United States of Latin America, which is going to be, in my humble opinion, the greatest book series ever written. It's the great American novel, right? It's something that captures the time unlike anything else. The crisis that the United States of America and the Western world is going through, the meta crisis, the culture war. We're at this point in history where no one has any solutions, but this is what I literally spent the entirety of my life doing. Going through the horrors of drug addiction, transcending, overcoming that, and searching for purpose, finding my purpose, creating the character of Armando Cienfuegos, and a vision for a new world through the United States of Latin America. So I may or may not be posting as much. Posting is fun, and all I have to do is just open up my camera and just start speaking from the heart. So it doesn't really take me anything, and obviously there's no production value in my in my shorts and videos so far. But now I must get back to the task at hand, to writing my life's work, which I love. Like, I have a Speechify app that I email all of my writings to, where I could listen to it at 4.5 times the speed. The reason why I listen to it that fast is because I know what's written there, and I've listened to it so many times. But nonetheless, it doesn't change the fact that every time I listen to my writings, I fall in love with my writings. I really do. Anyway, have a great day. I may or may not post because I have to write. Bye.